In the sprawling embrace of Harmony Hill's retirement community, every golden ray of sunlight seemed to promise endless tranquility. A place built on trust, where families believed their elders would find peace. But as we often learn, the most tranquil surfaces can hide the deepest, darkest currents, especially for those too often overlooked. This is the story of Buddy, a loyal Labrador with a nose for truth, and the young nurse, Mariah Jenkins, who learned to listen to his silent plea. Harmony Hills. For Buddy, a magnificent Labrador, this sprawling community was a new chapter. No more drug busts or search and rescue operations. Here his days were meant for gentle nuzzles, slow, comforting walks with residents, and the quiet joy only a retired canine could bring. He was a symbol of peace, his calm presence a balm to the weary souls around him. Buddy, a legend with a distinguished service record, had seen the world through countless smells and silent instincts. He understood peace, but he also recognized its facade. He was the quiet, furry heart of Harmony Hills, observing everything with an ancient wisdom in his amber eyes. Then came Mariah Jenkins, a young nurse whose heart was as open as her spirit was bright. Buddy recognized her kindness, her genuine empathy for the residents. She was a good human, learning the rhythms of this seemingly gentle place, and he was her constant, comforting shadow. He trusted her. But one evening, the air shifted. As Buddy walked beside Mariah through a seldom-used corridor in the West Wing, a scent, faint but unmistakable, hit his nose. A dissonance in the symphony of smells. He stopped. Not a gentle halt, but a rigid, unyielding freeze. His powerful frame stiffened. His ears swiveled, pinpointing the source. A low, guttural growl rumbled in his chest, a sound of warning, of deep unease. His hackles rose, a ripple across his usually placid fur, his intense gaze fixed on a single door. Room 402. It looked innocuous, old, with a faded nameplate. Just then, a passing human dismissed it. "Oh, don't linger near that door, Mariah. Room 402 is sealed for a reason, just an old storage space." Buddy knew better. His nose twitched, sifting through the layers of dust and disinfectant. A storage space did not smell like that. This was no benign scent. This was a scent of fear, of something hidden, something profoundly wrong. The whisper of truth in the walls was clear to him, and he had to make Mariah understand. That night, Buddy sensed Mariah's restlessness. He nudged her hand, a silent communication. He knew she felt it too, that nagging doubt. His duty, he understood, wasn't truly over. Not yet. The next night shift, Harmony Hills hummed with a different frequency for Buddy. Every scent felt sharper, every sound amplified. He stayed close to Mariah, his usual patient rounds replaced by an insistent pull towards the West Wing, towards room 402. His body, usually relaxed, coiled with a quiet tension. He knew what lay behind that door, even if Mariah didn't yet. Mariah, ever attentive to him, tried to rationalize his behavior. But Buddy didn't rationalize, he knew. He watched as she checked the floor maps, her brow furrowed when room 402 was absent. He listened to the night supervisor, Ms. Peterson, dismiss Mariah's concerns with a too-sweet smile. "Some rooms are just too far gone, dear," she'd said. Buddy heard the lie in her tone. Later that night, Buddy led Mariah back to the corridor. The silence was heavy, but to Buddy, it pulsed with unseen activity. He stopped dead. 3 short, sharp barks. A pause. Then, a long, mournful howl, a siren call of urgency. He knew Mariah saw it. A thin, pulsing line of light seeping from beneath the sealed door. Proof. He watched Mariah kneel, her ear pressed to the wood. Then, through the keyhole, he sensed her gasp. He had smelled the presence behind that door for days. A hunched, indistinct human silhouette, moving slowly. A scent of profound sorrow and confinement. Buddy let out a low snarl, confirming Mariah's silent horror. Something was truly in that room. The next morning, Buddy observed Director Reynolds's smooth dismissal of Mariah's account. He saw Mariah's frustration, her helplessness, but Buddy knew helplessness wasn't an option. His duty was to protect, to uncover. And sometimes, protection required unorthodox methods. As Mariah left her shift that evening, Buddy saw his chance. A maintenance worker jingling keys walked by. Buddy, focused, years of training kicking in. Not a bite, not an attack. A swift, precise lunge. He snagged a single key ring from the worker's belt. Mariah gasped, pulling him back, but Buddy had done his part. He dropped the keys at her feet, nudging one with his nose. A rusted tag, barely legible. 402. It was a critical turning point. Buddy had given Mariah the key, literally, to a nightmare. He had shown her that truth often begins with a quiet insistence, and sometimes a mischievous snatch. The old lock clicked with a soft, final sound, echoing in the oppressive quiet. Buddy stayed close as Mariah pushed the door to room 402 open. The stale air hit them, dust, disinfectant, and a faint metallic tang that Buddy's nose immediately identified as old stale blood. Or perhaps, fear. The room was sparse. In the center a man in a wheelchair, gaunt, his face a roadmap of suffering, but his eyes held pools of chilling clarity and profound sadness. "Elijah Brooks?" Mariah whispered. The man nodded. Buddy nudged Mariah's hand, urging her forward. He sensed Elijah's deep sadness, a decades-long burden. "The man thought no one remembered me," Elijah croaked. "He thinks no one remembers any of us." Buddy watched as Elijah pointed to a small, leather-bound notebook. Mariah picked it up. Buddy could smell the age of the paper, the faintest scent of old ink, and the despair clinging to every page. The chilling words on the first entry, "They were supposed to be dead," resonated with the sorrow Buddy had sensed. Elijah Brooks, erased. Buddy knew Mariah was making calls, speaking to her human friend Marcus. He heard Marcus's voice, tight with alarm, confirming Mariah's fears. "Illegal confinement, experimentation. This sounds bigger, darker." Buddy felt Mariah's growing resolve. Then, Elijah pointed to a heavy, tattered curtain. "Behind there," he whispered. "That's where the others are." Buddy felt Mariah's tremor as she pulled back the curtain. A stark, heavy metal door. A sleek, modern biometric scanner. This was the source of the profound, unsettling energy Buddy had felt. Elijah's voice, though weak, became clearer, filled with urgency. "Buddy. It was a code once, before they retired the program." He remembered the code. Buddy nudged Mariah's hand, a silent confirmation. The scent of old military-grade chemicals, faint but undeniable, clung to the metal. This was more than just a hidden room. This was a secret buried deep. A Project Echo hinted at in Elijah's notebook. A program of erased identities, of subjects. Later, as the sun began to peek through Harmony Hills, Buddy observed the eraser, the man in the brown suit. He moved like a ghost, no scent of emotion, just the sharp, cold smell of efficiency. Buddy knew he was dangerous. He watched as the man placed his wrist against the scanner, and room 403 hissed open. He disappeared inside, then emerged, his briefcase empty, the air around him cleaner, colder. Buddy's low growl was a promise. He had found the hidden truth. Now, he needed Mariah to help him expose it. The eraser vanished, but the chilling evidence of his presence remained. Buddy sensed Mariah's quiet determination. It was time. As she grabbed a portable biometric scanner from the front desk, a bold move that made Buddy proud, he knew she was ready. Back at room 403, he watched as she pressed the scanner to the cold metal door. A soft beep. A mechanical hiss. A green light. Access granted. The air inside was sterile, thick with the scent of antiseptics, and something else, a lingering scent of despair. Buddy saw her, a frail woman, shockingly pale, strapped to a sterile bed, her head shaved, marked by faint scars. She was Subject 13. He felt Mariah's silent gasp, her profound compassion. Suddenly, Buddy's ears pricked. Footsteps, fast, urgent. He nudged Mariah fiercely, pulling her towards a stack of empty gurneys, pushing her behind them. He heard the orderlies' grim voices. "No more than 48 hours. Corporate orders, they're moving her tonight." Buddy felt Mariah's body stiffen. Tonight. He knew what that meant. He sensed her quick, desperate call to Marcus, her friend's urgent plea to leave. But Buddy watched Mariah's face, her resolve hardening. She wouldn't abandon this fragile human. He felt a surge of pride. She was truly listening now. Mariah carefully began to unstrap the woman, now called June. Buddy stayed close, his body a silent anchor, his senses on high alert. He nudged June forward, guiding her. As they reached the hallway, the world exploded. A piercing security alarm ripped through Harmony Hills. Red lights flashed, sirens wailed. They were discovered. "Emergency stairwell!" Mariah cried, half dragging June. Buddy darted ahead, but the door was jammed. Then the elevator doors chimed open. Two hulking men in black uniforms, tasers drawn, emerged. Buddy didn't hesitate. This was his training. This was his purpose. He moved with astonishing, calculated agility, a furry whirlwind weaving between the guards' legs, disorienting them, sending one sprawling. It was just enough. Mariah slammed her hand against the fire alarm. Chaos erupted. Lights flickered. And then, a scent of hope. Elijah Brooks. Buddy heard his faint yell, saw his waving hand at a hidden side exit. Buddy barked, a joyous, urgent sound. He pushed June forward, then Mariah, bursting into the cold, liberating night. They were out. They were free. But the chilling silence they left behind in Harmony Hills was far more terrifying than any alarm. It was the silence of a truth finally, violently exposed. And a new battle just beginning. Buddy knew his job was far from done. Mariah drove, the sirens fading. Buddy felt June's frail body relax, her head nestled against his fur in the back seat. Elijah, a testament to resilience, sat beside Mariah, his gaze steady, almost serene. "She wasn't supposed to survive," Elijah croaked. "She's proof that they were doing more than just taking care of old people. She's the last one." Buddy stayed close to Mariah as she navigated the human world of legalities. Marcus arranged protection for June. Elijah, a wisp of smoke, vanished. But Buddy knew his part wasn't finished. He remained Mariah's shadow, his watchful eyes and twitching ears constantly scanning. He still smelled the lingering injustice, something unfinished. He nudged Mariah, a silent plea. For 8 tense days, Harmony Hills maintained its facade. But within Mariah's apartment, a fragile new life began. June, once a number, began to remember. Buddy watched her, nudging her gently during nightmares, his warmth a comfort against the cold memories. He heard her whisper her true name, June. And the chilling voice, "You're not real, June. You're what we made." Buddy observed Mariah's growing resolve, her refusal to let this lie be buried. He felt her determination when she met Maddox Blackwood, the grizzled investigator. Buddy could smell the years of grim truth on Maddox. He heard Maddox confirm, "This is black bag stuff, experimental programs." "Ellis Quaid," Maddox stated, the architect of Project Echo. Then came the threat. Mariah's apartment, ransacked. On her nightstand, a photo of her and Buddy, with a red inscription, "You're being watched. Walk away." Buddy's protective instincts flared. He leaned into Mariah, a silent promise. They weren't walking away. Buddy stood beside Mariah at the public hearing. He was not just a dog, he was a silent witness. He sensed the tension in the room, the hushed murmurs. He watched Mariah stand, her voice clear and strong, exposing Ellis Quaid and Project Echo. He heard her powerful words, a testament to his own role. "He's the reason I knew something was wrong," Mariah declared, her hand resting on Buddy's shoulder. "He's the one who refused to walk past that locked door. He's the one who saw what we didn't want to. He never gave up, even when we did. He reminded me that truth doesn't bark softly, sometimes it howls." Then, Ellis Quaid himself appeared. His voice, cold and devoid of remorse, echoed in the chamber. "You have no idea what we were doing. You don't understand the world we were trying to protect, nurse." Buddy felt Mariah's unwavering resolve. "You weren't protecting the world, Dr. Quaid," she countered. "You were hiding from it. You were destroying lives, not saving them." The aftermath was swift. Whistleblower protections activated, the press tore into the story, investigations widened. June became the face of a quiet, powerful movement. Buddy watched Mariah decline fame, finding her peace in quiet acts of care. Months passed. June, her memory stronger, called Mariah. "Andy used to say," June whispered. "They used to say, you'll forget who you are before the world remembers what we did." Buddy felt Mariah's quiet smile, her hand stroking his head. "The service is over," she said. "Marcy came as you—" "Not anymore, June," Mariah said softly. "The world remembers now." Buddy, older, perhaps a little slower, still kept a watchful eye, but now his gaze was filled with contentment. Mariah would often lean down, scratching him behind the ears. "You saved lives, Buddy," she'd whisper, "more than you'll ever know." This story reminds us that truth doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just barks, a silent plea in the darkness, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. Some heroes wear uniforms, others wear fur, and sometimes the most profound truths are whispered, not roared, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. Mariah stood tall, her voice a beacon of unwavering truth, piercing through the carefully constructed lies. Ellis Quaid, a man who saw human lives as mere data points for his twisted experiments, was finally exposed. Harmony Hills, once a symbol of serene betrayal, began to unravel. But the real victory wasn't just in the headlines. It was in June, a survivor reclaiming her name, her story, her very self. It was in Elijah, a forgotten voice finally heard, and it was in Mariah, a young black woman who, against every barrier, chose courage over comfort and justice over silence. Buddy, the quiet Labrador, now truly enjoying his golden years, would still sometimes look out at the fading light, his gentle presence a reminder. Mariah would lean down, scratching him behind the ears, a soft smile on her face. "You saved lives, Buddy," she'd whisper, "more than you'll ever know." This story reminds us that truth doesn't always roar, sometimes it just barks, a silent plea in the darkness waiting for someone brave enough to listen. Some heroes wear uniforms, others wear fur, and often it's those who understand the struggle, those who have been marginalized themselves, who hear the whispers most clearly and fight the hardest for what's right. This story is a testament to the power of one canine, one person to shatter the silence. If you've ever felt unheard, if you've ever known what it's like to fight for your dignity or the dignity of your loved ones, then this message is for you. Don't let injustice stand. Share this story, raise your voice, and shine a light on the shadows. There's no more thanks for watching. Please like and share the video and social network. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.